a Nigerian startup, Thepeer, shut down in the course of the week, and there have been a lot of conversation around what the 3-year-old startup is doing. Sounds interesting, but the reason they had to shut down was because of finding a market fit, generally around adoption. So I think we should just try a bit to understand what they do and why it didn't fly in the Nigerian market where it's supposed to play. So Bolu, can you give us like an explanation for that?
What they do is, I think, it's something that one, it's not very common. Not even that it's not common in Nigeria. I don't think I've seen anyone trying to do that. So one of the investors that invested in them back in 2021 described it as an API-based payment layer where fintechs can enable money movement natively from within their respective wallets and apps. So we did a feature on them. I think it was in 2021, and from that feature, what I understood that they were trying to do was to make it possible to move money within your fintech apps, right? And even regular apps that are not fintech apps but use wallets, move money between all those platforms without having to route through your bank. So basically, if say there's a food delivery platform that I use, and that food delivery platform has a wallet, right, which I can fund to pay for my deliveries, I can fund that wallet through, say, my PiggyVest, for example. So normally, if I wanted to do that, right, I would probably have to send the money to my bank, from PiggyVest to my bank, then from my bank to that wallet.
Mm-hmm.
So they want to make it possible to just go straight from that food delivery app, and then one of the funding options will be funded through PiggyVest.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can also go to another platform that has a wallet, and I
Move
can
money
fund
across
that wallet
wallets
from
another
that
wallet.
from that food delivery platform to that wallet. So they just wanted to make it moving money around platforms very easy. So that's basically what I understand by what they wanted to do.
What they wanted to do.
Yeah.
So within the 3 years that they've operated, how many times have they raised? Because there were talks that they returned investors' money.
Okay, I think they've raised only once. I think 2.1
Twice.
million. Twice. Okay. I think the 2.1
2.1 was
million
a seed round.
was
So
the seed.
it was a pre-seed.
Oh, they raised the pre-seed.
So
Okay.
so I'm just trying to get a picture of what happened within that time where they were trying to find a market fit and get people to get platforms to adopt it. So I understand that especially in the fintech space, startups may not be able to build the infrastructure they want. They just plug in, have a lot of plugins so that what they are doing can be seamless. So I'm just wondering why didn't what Thepeer is doing, why didn't it fly in the market?
Okay, so the founders they made a blog post, and they said they gave two reasons, right?
Okay.
They said one reason why they were shutting down was because of compliance issues, and also because the wallet system, right? It wasn't adopted the way they thought it would get adopted. So based on how I described what they wanted to do, it is important that many businesses, many fintechs use wallets, because they want to make it possible for you to move money around within seamlessly between those apps. So if those platforms are not using wallets, it now makes it difficult because no one needs that service if they don't have a wallet.
But it's surprising because the wallet adoption globally is experiencing like at least steady adoption.
Okay.
Right, the global payments report, there's expect digital wallets to grow at 15% annually,
Okay.
and wallet adoption is moving the same, or playing side by side with card adoption. So it's like the second to be adopted after card adoption. So it says we're expecting it. Maybe they actually expected it that the same way some of the things that have been brought on by fintech platforms have been adopted. It's the same way this will also be adopted. So, but I don't know if it's safe to say that the PS solution came to the market too early.
So
Okay.
let's see. Let me add some things. First is it's not just about every business using. So almost all your fintechs have wallets, if not all of them have wallets.
Mhm.
So that first layer of adoption is not a problem, which
Okay.
is so if you look, a lot of the first the investors in their pre-seed rounds were usually, most of them were founders of fintechs. So I think Ezra, Prosper, or Eden Life, they both invested in their seed round as well. They also had more founders. So what this does for you is that at the very least you have them,
The number of
because
businesses that can always bring you on to start with.
exactly. And I know that Eversense founder invested, and Eversense was also one of the earliest businesses that integrated with them. Nguvu Health, which is an online therapy platform, also invested in in the not invested now. Sorry, they also adopted the PS solution. So the problem there is it's not really about the fintechs or the companies; it's about customers using wallets
Mm.
as a payment option. I don't know how many times you use your wallet the wallets on your fintech apps or any app at all to make any payment. So I have a few apps that have like wallets in them. I don't necessarily use those wallets frequently, especially when it's a case of having to pay. I typically will use my card.
Yeah.
One reason is I don't like. It's probably because I'm not using those apps frequently enough, which is one of the problems. If I'm not using it too frequently, for example, I would not put a card on, let's say, Uber or Bolt for some reasons. So yes, it wasn't really. It's not necessarily that
Businesses
fintechs
are
or
not
businesses don't
adopting
have.
it.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
people,
case of
customers not
customers not
adopting
using
it.
it. So to the global payments report that you mentioned, yes, cards are not growing as fast as wallets, but that's not in Africa.
Yeah.
It's outside Africa. But here's also the problem here. Wallets are growing fast, but for you to fund your wallet, you need cards.
Yeah.
So it's right now. There's no. You still need your cards in most
Yeah.
cases to fund
So
wallets.
it's not an argument of whether wallets will take over from card. I think it's just finding similar level of adoption.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
coming to that. I'm just like giving context. So yes, in the US, Europe, most other countries, wallets have like more adoption because they've kind of built up to that level. But in Africa, there was a report by Visa, I think, last year or in 2022. Wallet adoption is not really a thing in Nigeria. Just about 14% of Nigerians were using wallets to make any payments at all. So that's one problem. They were operating or started operating from Nigeria. There were plans to like expand. So if Nigerians are not using wallets a lot, it's just natural that you would struggle with adoption. If they were probably in Kenya, that could have probably worked because there's like the whole mobile money Kenya. By the time they launched, MTN hadn't gotten their Momo license, so there was that. I think MTN got the license a year after. Also, so yes, there's all of that, which is one of the reasons why they struggled with getting adoption. So yeah, it's a case of wallets growing, but not growing as fast as they had hoped that it would
And
grow.
it will not be responsible to keep burning investor money with you. So hopefully they revisit this solution at some time when the market is more ripe and ready for it.
To listen to the full episode of this podcast, visit podcast.techpoint.africa or search for Techpoint Africa Podcast on your favorite podcast platforms.